I arrest you for acting oppressively and when interested and perverting the course of justice. You must stand down. You are now in my custody and under arrest. You are not free to leave. I am extremely angry and extremely determined, and you will be prosecuted, sir. I have no choice but to make this arrest under Section 458 of the Crimes Act, which is my lawful right to do so. Right, who's the highest ranking police officer here?
That'd be me.
Right.
No.
So you're obliged...
No, I'm not.
Excuse me, no. You're obliged. Mr. Doss, I arrest you as well for malfeasance of public office and refusing to do your duty. I fear for my safety, given that there are 4 armed criminals.
This sovereign citizen showed up in court and said one of the most ridiculous things I've heard in a while. Honestly, this whole hearing just keeps getting more and more bizarre the longer it goes on. This happened over in Australia. This guy is on his 15th court appearance and still not in custody. I don't even know how that's possible at this point. You'd think by now someone would say, okay, this isn't going anywhere. But nope. This man literally tried to arrest the judge and 6 officers right there in the courtroom. Like he's living in his own fantasy version of the law. Let me know what you think down below as we dive into this, because yes, he seriously tried to threaten everyone like that's going to help him. Now,
does this court obey the law, sir?
Just have a seat.
Does this court obey the law?
Have a seat.
Even just once?
Have a seat. Mr. Prosecutor, how many police witnesses?
4, Your Honour. There's Miss Quinn, Gary French, Walker, and informant Porridge.
So 2 police and 2 civilian. Now, Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
In terms of your defence for the matter, what do you say? How many witnesses do you have?
I'll run my case where I'm going to run it, sir. Magistrate Stella Stuthridge has already progressed this matter. On the 13th of December last year...
Mr. Freeman, I've asked you a question.
I don't understand the question, sir. What was that?
How many witnesses do you have?
Witnesses?
Yeah.
I don't need witnesses.
Okay, so you have no witnesses? The purpose of this hearing is to determine how long the contested hearing will take.
Sir, it's not. That's not what Magistrate Stuthridge ruled, and I'm about to give you that information, and so far you suppressed me from giving that information.
This matter is listed for a contest mention. It's running as a contest mention.
Can I speak now, please, sir?
Your question.
On the 13th of December last year, Magistrate Stella Stuthridge identified serious issues I raised, being a serious abuse of process in this matter, an order that was not made according to law, and many counts of fraud and perjury by the applicant. As a result, I've implemented a voir dire that this case cannot proceed until these matters are dealt with. That was upheld by Magistrate Stella Stuthridge, who allocated a hearing, which is now a year later, this one, and she specifically said that Magistrate Cottrell is not to sit on the matter because he was the one that caused the problem, that Magistrate Watkins cannot because he isn't biased, and that you cannot either. And then the registrar, Sam out there at the front, told me 3 weeks ago that you're one of the magistrates that had recused yourself from this matter. And I'm very angry that the registrars couldn't get it right and went and allocated this hearing while you were sitting when it was supposed to be Magistrate David Farram, according to Magistrate Stella Stuthridge. She also stated in the court, on the record, which you need to check, prosecutions are on notice that the hearing will be an application to strike the matter out, nothing else. She said it is booked in for an application to strike the matter out. She specifically told that to Prosecutor Stuart Pritchard. There has been a shocking delay in justice in the past year waiting for my hearing. I've been back to court to try and get it heard sooner, which is a perversion of the course of justice, and I'm not ready to make any more concessions for people. I've been to court 15 times.
Here's where it gets even more unbelievable. If this man had just acted respectfully, stopped threatening people, and taken part in the legal process, he probably would have been done with this whole situation a year ago. Instead, he's been through 15 judges acting like a child throwing a tantrum every time someone says the word law. And now he's claiming the courts are to blame for the delays? It's wild. He shows up, interrupts everyone, refuses to listen, and still somehow thinks he's the one being wronged. I don't know what legal tricks he thinks he's pulling. But this isn't looking like a winning strategy. It's looking more like permanent detention. And the craziest part is still walking free. Normally, this is where I'd criticize this sovereign citizen's behavior. And yes, it's completely out of line, but honestly, I'm more confused about how this keeps happening. Keeps showing up, ignoring the court, shouting at the judge.
You would have been the fifth magistrate, but as it's gone around in circle, the fourth magistrate to sit on this case. This travesty of justice and unlawfulness by Loretta Quinn, by the police and by this court has continued for 2.5 years. Even during the deaths, my family deaths I had 2 weeks after my sister-in-law dropped dead in front of the 4 kids, you and Evans and Eliades, French and Quinn and their lawyers all got in here and colluded all day long and harassed me for a full day in August. Then you adjourned it to November, and I was hounded and hammered again in the most sadistic way for a full day. And then I still didn't get the matter resolved because this court is still unable to resolve it according to law, which would only take 5 minutes. Now, the crimes that were committed by Loretta Quinn and Magistrate Courtroom took 17 minutes on the court record. It has now taken me 17 months to try and get the law simply upheld and get this matter reversed. And I can assure you, I am extremely angry and extremely determined, and I have no more concessions or grace left for anyone involved, and am ready to launch private prosecutions against anyone who breaks the law in the court today. Now, I have the laws that are being broken, sir.
Freeman,
I'm being cut off, yeah? Okay.
Magistrate Stuffridge has made no orders in this matter. The matter is listed for a contest meeting today.
So you're going to railroad me again, okay?
I have no evidence that what you say is correct. So, in terms of not calling any witnesses, it would appear to be a factual argument.
Correct, sir.
I have evidence to give on the stand, sir.
Well, it's a question of factual argument.
I have evidence to give up there to this court. That's my right.
Hey.
Oh, yes, it is today. It is my right to a fair hearing. 2.5 years. Well, this needs to go to the Supreme Court. Do not adjourn this case, sir. You will be perverting the course of justice, and I will prosecute you.
What's the matter for you? How long will this matter take, Mr. Prosecutor? I would imagine at least a day.
At least a day, Your Honour.
This court has constructive knowledge of perjury being committed. You'll be aiding and abetting that if you proceed. You'll be in breach of Justice Gaudron's rulings in the High Court, Nicholas versus the Queen, 1998, by proceeding in a matter that is an abusive process, where there are other serious matters raised which have been identified by a previous magistrate. Yeah. You cannot proceed in this matter by ruling of the High Court of Australia. You're acting in criminal bias, the magistrate acting oppressively or when interested. I have a right to a fair hearing and I have a right to justice. If I do not get it, this proves that this is not a court of competent jurisdiction and you will be prosecuted, sir.
And nothing ever seems to happen. I don't know the ins and outs of Australia's laws, but this looks incredibly soft to me. At this point, is this even a courtroom or just an endless performance? I'm not saying the sovereign citizen is right. He's clearly not. But if this keeps dragging on, you'd think someone would have held him in contempt by now. He refuses. To take part in the hearing, isn't that usually enough for consequences? Maybe I'm being too harsh. This is honestly driving me a little nuts. Let's break this down real quick because he's trying to use sections 4 or 5. And 8 of the Australian Crimes Act like there's some sort of legal hack. Section 4 is about definitions and how the law applies. Section 5 outlines offenses. Section 8 is about helping someone commit a crime. He's trying to argue that the judge and officers broke the law just because they ruled against him. That's not how this works. You can't just yell violation. It's like it's going to magically turn things around.
For the Supreme Court and High Court Justices listening to this recording in the future, take note the Magistrate Dunn is not allowing me to have a fair hearing, is obstructing justice, and is in breach of the law. So I have an hour allocated for this hearing. I want to get up on that stand and give some evidence.
No, you're not.
Okay, well, you're perverting the course of justice. I've had enough of it. You're acting oppressively and when interested, in breach of the Crimes Act.
Are you available on the 5th of February?
No. Sir, you have constructive knowledge of crimes committed in this court. You are now aiding and abetting them.
Are you available on the 5th of February?
Peter Dunn, I arrest you for aiding and abetting.
Okay. But
I arrest you for acting oppressively and when interested and perverting the course of justice. You must stand down. You are now in my custody and under arrest. You are not free to leave.
would you just mind asking...
For the Supreme and High Court Justices listening to this recording in future, take note that the magistrate is under arrest for serious crimes committed against me, as have been outlined in numerous hearings and this one. I have no choice but to make this arrest under Section 458 of the Crimes Act, which is my lawful right to do so. This case cannot proceed. Right, who's the highest ranking police officer here?
That'd be me.
Right.
No.
So you're obliged...
No, I'm not.
Excuse me, you're obliged...
Excuse me for a moment. Just excuse me,
A
Mr.
lawful
Freeman.
arrest has been made.
Mr. Freeman, just excuse me for a moment.
Honor, please.
5th of February at this court or at Juliet, at this court or at Myrtleford? Well, I need to know now whether it's Myrtleford or... Is it 5th of February a Myrtleford day? Okay, 5th of February at Myrtleford.
Mr. Doss, I arrest you as well for malfeasance of public office and refusing to do your duty. All right? And your other charges will be added to that. Okay? So for the court record, for the Supreme Court and High Court Justices listening to this recording, you're both under arrest. This matter has stopped. You are not free to leave. You are in my custody. If you leave, you will be escaping lawful custody and resisting arrest. That's the law under Section 458 of the Crimes Act, which I am entitled to enact.
Those laws are meant for actual crimes, not because you don't like how your hearing is going. This isn't going to end the way he's hoping, and here's the funniest part. After he leaves the courtroom, his little group of supporters starts clapping like he just won a trophy. For what? A slightly delayed trip to jail? But to be fair, he did manage to stick to his plan. No plea, no acknowledgement of the court, and somehow just walked out. I've never seen this actually work before, and now I'm wondering if Australia has some kind of loophole for people who just refuse. Normally, ignoring a judge is contempt of court. That usually comes with fines or jail time, depending on how disruptive you are. But here, this guy just walks out like he's got some special...
I think that's your...
According to the circumstances.
That would be your interpretation.
Say what you want. Yeah. All right.
Well, no, but just because you say so, Mr. Freeman, doesn't mean it's right. 5th of February.
Please, then, Constable Sarah Williamson. It's now your role to arrest Mr. Dosser and Mr.
Time to go, Mr. Freeman.
Yeah.
The man is booked in for a hearing.
This is done, Mr. Freeman. You're
Okay.
excused from...
I'll collect my papers. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Absolutely disgusting. Shameful. Now, the paper that you need, a document for the court, sir. I must leave here, according to law.
Well, if you leave it at the front counter, that'll be just...
Okay. Because you are under the Criminal Code Act, Section 83(4), because you are using force and intimidation to interfere with my Australian democratic and political right to have my case heard.
Off you go, Mr. Freeman. Off you go.
I arrest you, sir, and I
Time to
arrest
leave.
you.
Time to leave.
Time to leave. Grab your papers and off you go.
So all of you police in the courtroom and magistrate are arrested according to law. This will be taken up in the Supreme Court. I'm now under duress. I fear for my safety, given that there are 4 armed criminals.
Your phone and all your bits and pieces.
4 armed criminals surrounding me in an intimidating manner. I'm under duress.
Off you go. Bye, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you for your time.
You'll be receiving your charge sheet summons.
Pass. Really strange. If any of you know how Australian law works in cases like this, let me know, because I'm still scratching my head. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate you all. Let me know what you thought about this one in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.